SPeeKa. Ooh, wait, plum. I got this. Wait, chill. I got this.
Yankee boy, yeah, Bongzah, yeah, insane maestro, yet to take over like Fidel Castro. I'm not from the intro till the outro. Bongena bomb rapper, but SPeeKa EP mic boy. A basic melt is no matter why. I'm finna choose the flow. SPeeKa nkai beat normal journey. Fast or slow, I know you know. But me ngati let's start the show and clap before the show for no way man I sense it so. In this experience you can't afford to blink. With psychological lyrics you have the right to shrink. This is an interlude, not a song I think. The production is called pulsing. In a pen it's more of an ink. In the pen and paper exercise it's the link. Jack and text dummy flows, I hope you don't sink. Now tell me, can you afford to blink?
Tani half walk, pushing for fight. Rapping and some slides. Stop us, I'm Pay to speak. I'm a beating a speaker, and I'm a artist.
On your marks, get set. Ready, let's go.
I'm a shiz, you're a bar, I'm a sisha, sing a shot. Info for your info. Pay to speaker. Pay to W.A.R. Bandit. Red party. Petit salamuzi. Maseven, I see.
Insane Maestro.
Yo. Yeah. Ta for like, checking out my live stream for the 10-year anniversary of SPeeKa Presents the Insane Maestro, which is the first ever mixtape that I put together and dropped in March 2010. I did 18 tracks featuring a whole bunch of artists, a whole bunch of incredible artists, but I will not be doing all the songs. I will just be doing some of the songs because data. So starting with that one that I just played now, which is the intro by Ntsika, a.k.a. Fana Maeza of the world's legendary, the world's most incredible a cappella group, The Soil. The story behind that beat was that initially when I made it in either late 2009 or early 2010, when I made that beat, it was initially for Wisdom Tooth, who now goes by Bob the Stylist. If you know Bob the Stylist, yeah, that's Wisdom Tooth. He used to be he still is, I think, poet/MC. And yeah, around that time, and when I made the beat, I had him in mind. And unfortunately, I don't know what happened, but Ntsika heard it first. And when he heard it, I wasn't intending on it being the intro to the tape, but he heard it and immediately just and voila, like same time, and we recorded it and it became the intro. And by that time I think I had recorded pretty much the entire tape by then. And then that's why at the end, where you hear the voices throughout the tape chopped up in that little scratch thing, where, by the way, I didn't have a DJ. I did the scratches manually via Fruit Loops. Now part in where it says, could you speak? That's the part where I took what is now my beat tag. Part in speak. I was just chuffed with yo, this is my beat tag. Yeah. Alright, so moving on to the next song, which is Motionless Dance featuring Samthing, who was still part of The Soil. at the time, so that's why he's credited on the album as Samthing of the Soil and War Bandit. So this joint was initially supposed to be a Samthing solo joint, which, by the way, he co-produced the beat with me. He came up with the bass line that you hear. Tum boom 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 tum boom. Bandit heard it and he was like, "Yo," because you know he's a rapper. He's a rapper's rapper. He just wants to rap everywhere. He likes this one, rap, and it's Bandit, and he's nice with it. So I couldn't say no. Put his verse, dope. Song completed, and yeah, this is what we got. This is the second track from the Insane Maestro.
Yeah. God said, let there be light. Soon after, everything was bright. Then a million years went past. Then the Loma family was blessed with a baby boy, medium in height, full of pride, taught to fight. Soon after, the man he was gathering his talents up in the stash. Many months went by so cold. He watching all those TV shows. He escapes the madness colored blue and sings a song for you and you. So now, what you gon' do? I sitting on that cold bar stool. You better wake up, you better rise. The song will blow your mind tonight.
From afar he's shown when he enters his crackling bones. A bag full of punches, but then there's nothing to the flow. That's what he was told. This kid's heart was simple and bold. He's jumping in ciphers. This kid's heart was simple and cold. Now he's sending you codes through cryptic message and ancient flows. The gods he opposes. His perfect plan was to overthrow. So keep on your toes, cause in this world kid you never know. So learn, build and grow, cause evolution moves in slow-mo. Now he had a crew, despite of all the things they do. He put 2 and 2. His loyalty he would have to prove at the end of the day. When we are forced to kneel down and pray, and we're praying for rain, cause my people have been led astray. To the promising lands, life captured within a simple glance. A motionless dance, now we're praying for a second chance. That I will advance, wear my heart in my sleeve and just laugh. Knowledge I will grasp, proceeding with this motionless dance.
It's crazy the way people party. When we party, we tend to act rowdy. But what gets to me is that our families also need tons of money. Have them up, see, but breadwinners are out there busy, always shooting up shots and whiskey. But on the next day, hustling on the streets, tripping like you should have hustled the free drink. It's crazy the way people party. As we party, we tend to act rowdy. But what gets to me is that our families also need tons of money. Have them up, see, but breadwinners are out there busy, always shooting up shots and whiskey. But on the next day, hustling on the streets, tripping like you should have hustled the free drink. And this your life is hard enough, y'all, enough, y'all. All I'm trying to say is that you watch out. And this your life hard enough, y'all, enough, y'all. All I'm trying to say is that you watch out.
Samthing Soweto, ladies and gentlemen, greatest of all time. Moving right along. At the end of the song, there's a young skit there at the end. Thing is, during the process of making the tape, there would be instances where we would like shoot footage randomly in studio, and by studio I mean my tiny ass bedroom. So that what you hear there, it was one of those sessions where the studio, there were like 15 of us in that small room, and I forgot which joint we were. Oh no, we were recording the song that comes in next, right, which is number 1, featuring once again Ntsika, the Soil, and Red Button, the Incredible, and X-Ray, talented, Maseven, talented. So yeah, we're recording that joint and the camera was running. So what I just basically took audio from one of those, from that session, chopped it up a bit, and then just got Maseven, and I hoid that. And then what you hear is the original beat, which is this beat here. I made that beat 2008, so 12 years ago. Insane. This was the initial beat for the song, and then what happened here? I think, yeah, I lost the footy file, so I couldn't mix the beat proper, you know. So one day, I don't know what got into me. I decided, let me hook up a fresh beat. I hooked up a new beat. The vocals were already recorded, but Ntsika came back and re-recorded his hook. So the hook that you hear in the original and what he has on what became the final version are two different recordings. I was like, dog, the hook won't work on this new beat. So I think Hlokx will keep Gubama Gents on the verses. Ntsika was like, hi baba. Hi baba. You recorded me. You recorded it again. Track number 3 on the Insane Maestro, called Number 1, featuring X-Ray, Red Button, Maseven, and Ntsika of the Soil. 2010.
Hola SPeeKa. SPeeKa. Awuthini iluma indlebe njengo-Mike Tyson, zokhona-ke kuzenza ingamla njengo-Michael Jackson. Thina siphume ekudlele, sifike ngesitayile esilungile, ngeke usithole kule game njenge-long sleeve etunique. Ababhilive kufika izinja kuthasha ama-hip-hop cats, sifike unexpected sanjengama-triplets. Nirep ukunqola siphethe imop sakoropa kule hip-hop, sonibeka kukhoma ngithi maniringa nina full stop. Sinitshela straight ekuhlanyiswe njenge-player malshinet, noma ningeza ngathi anisizwa njengefoni yokusilent. Uma-7 uphathi X noNtsika sanhlanyisa, sishiya nivula umlomo ngathi rapper siphethe umakhamisi. Style sethu senjoba nifuna ukusikapa ngezembe, nifaka amazinyo phansi kwenyawo nifuna ukusi-V10. Style seni siflete siphantshile, shona nini yabona sigaraje epumpisa ngenyuku kumele lukhokha umoya.
Culture sekasimas from the theater, mara situ creme ngoba sinaqala ngokufika. Namanje sibeta ilezi zamafinic na hater, ngathi study sleeping ama-track sunset njengitorosi semaponya sonifala later number 1 man funa ukuzirata woza
SPeeKa on imaki vutho kwebani khona ngizoshisa irali kanti sibala ubano nenkano exandlisa amalali bonke laba banamakwali bakhwaza igama lami kusho isicima kube mnyama ibani shita ngiyaphanda nami le flow izokudaka imizi khona kuthiwa ama-drug dealers especially mangizenza uprogress zodla ama-painkillers brick up off yaspita so lift ama-velocity mokrapi makro flow waslow njenge-olevesco city ngivalelwa ngaphandle sithi sengiqaba ukungipokorela ngikhipha irama ehlaba kwesipikiri khona ngizongikokotela xapha ubuchopha esikopho masengibeka ipistini esibhongo kuphela ubusoka nokudenka itina nowanda kusila inhloko ngibhayisa isikele mestural iPrez chipless uclaim ukubathap ne-rap nowanda utraina nge-gym dress ikhathi voice urap short ispitha ama-razor plate ikuphule ngeflow njengentwana edlala ama-roller plate ngivala idolo ungidlulise ekuzane elihlala livala amagate
number 1 man funa ukuzirata culture yasekasimas from the city hater mara sithi training ngoba sinaqala ngokuflata wo hey namanje ngizodebata ilezi zama-vernacular hater ngathi sihlale stepping ama-track sunset njengitorosi semaponya sonifala later number 1 man ukuzirata woza
esibazi ngiwadanga nowanda bangasibhuki noma sibhala sheka nesandla mina ntwana zingimovie sazozigega magenge please ngiyangikhuza zichama ukudlula uHeliberry mina-ke ntwana zingithusi SPeeKa athi ngishange ephistini ngisikhombe no7 esikhinqinze esikutse kayi-16 ngiphethe umthila ungasabi ngigeleza amakhozi ngumbali isithungu ngerap mara ngifake ihembela ama-scotch ngishaye impama ehot especially kuma-grepishi man bese ngivula indlela ukudlula neline yakadingana fake irulini ungazorasha crash esikulini ngiswima phezu kwesinuka mangangikhola siye ephulini e-X nalentwana zisase-IC nazinamsebenzi azicaba idiski mara njalo se-striking usikhana mina mrap angisanokuthusa nabo Stallone mabathi ngihamba phansi
Yeah, a number 1 man funa ukuzirata culture yasekasimas from the theater mara sithi ukreme ngoba sinaqala ngokuflata wo hey namanje ngizodebata ilezi zama-vernacular hater ngathi sihlale stepping ama-track sunset njengitorosi semaponya sonifala later number 1 man funa ukuzirata woza
I remember Bongzah telling us that he's got a concept in mind for the video and a track. I remember him saying, yeah, like the camera iphezulu like izakanje or something like that. Yeah. Too bad we did not have the budget for any kind of music videos at the time. Yeah, so I'm gonna jump straight to Ivoga featuring Maseven. This joint, we made this joint around about the time Pro dropped Snakes and Ladders. At the time I was working closely with Maseven. Like when that album dropped, when I bought myself a copy, the first person I called was Maseven. Like, came through. We listened to the entire thing. One of the joints that we lost our minds over was this year, a Pro, produced by one of my idols, Dome. I've always felt that if there was ever a producer in South Africa who embodied the sound of Soweto, it is Dome. This beat in particular makes that painfully clear, you know. Yeah, Dome is one of the greats. This beat just screams Soweto. I mean,
Vele mo elkafani bazofeka ngathi ku-sitcom shoots dede isikuphu ukuthumba indlebe that's a hit for you speak for Louis bakhale bathi shit lo muntu ungasibhatha lesitala mara uthethisa wisdom vele silanda just bisivuselele mangabulahlile.
I'm not gonna play the whole song. So Maseven, when it was time, when I was like, yeah, I'm fit manje, when you check yakho it's hip nyam sipana kanjani, he was like, yo, ngicela ungishayele beat elifana nalela. I was like, say no more. And yeah, we conceptually came up with the concept of him sleeping in studio, streaming, and then I wake him up at the end. Yeah, but the beat, if you heard it this year, and this is what I came up with, Dome, PRO. Yeah, you guys made us, yo.
Ntwana,
7 indoda 7 suka salele nanule asho yaphupha le SPeeKa atakathi ngiyaphupha yazi ushayini le beat mntwana ilami vele ngiyahleka ngazi 7 nami ngizama ukusifaka ungangibuza ukuthi sikhiphani lentwana ngizostrapa speak ungangikhuzi makancane ngithi sihlala silele kuba ungabavusa bomancane bathanda ukubheja man kanjani bangaluzi benza kancane ngoba ngifathuzela ngizofasa incindi ngiyakushayela kusheshela zoduma ngikhiphe ibhali ngishaye itayela angithi amehlanye nezandla kumele ngithathe ukubheka ukuthi ngisuke lapho bani ningaboyenza kuphela ngikuthela mina leskimi sama baseball bets ngithithwa ama movie ne for self mina ngizokhalisa la idea just like that ekulukuphapha ntwana man enhlek yazi angisiyileze susiguri ngeweekend ematshwaleni bese sikhipha intshiza sibandise ngokukhomba entameni oresithusele ngathunyana sidubule emoyeni mina ngibandise ndangithoka ijazi ngiyishaya inyameni ngiyabahlinza ngibakhipha ukungcola njengamathumbe empukhwini bese ngisula ifoni yami enyembe ezimakhala ekhukhwini bathi ngikhafula rafu ngikhamekile ngiphume entuthwini ngeke ngilalele ihouse ntwana mani bengigqome ekhukhwini fere ngicela ubutsotsi angithi uyazi ngihlome ejozi noma ngihlabele abaphansi ngiringetali manitshodlozi ngeke ngirepe ngento engayazi njengenginqondo esibhabha mara ngidome amasababi fuba wenza isihlahla sama-benches mina ngizingene high grand ngawo sukhumalo ningangikheli ngizogcwala ngami ntwana ma ungithole ekasilami ngenza ijuice ngenyuku fere ngiphuza imali yami ngizofokha nge-audit lakho ngisishangane hhayi ngesilungu ungangiboleka isilonda sakho ngelokhu ukuzwela ubuhlungu ngoba usisi bese yangisuka yena mboni yangithuka asincengane kule game ungabolala eyivuka vuka ndoda ekawu ndoda siyo wakile ayi ndoda singene esipanini once see okay back sure.
Yeah, so that was Vuga featuring Maseven. Alright, so the next joint is called The Laboratory Experiment. Bit of a background on this song. When we did this song, I remember my mother, who was a police officer at the time, she was doing a course Espanol, and then she had to study, right? So because very like small studio, there's always gangbusters, and like we came through and with a lot of noise. So my mom asked like, yo, you guys need to stop, you need to move the studio somewhere, move the studio somewhere so I can study. And then that's when Ntsika, shout out once again, major player in this tape, major player, was like, so I took my entire setup, mic, PC, screen, zonke bonke, Saga Ntsika, which is just up the road, up the road, down the road, whatever. I remember one of the first songs we did while based that side was The Laboratory Experiment. So I mean, yeah, the concept is right there. We're in a lab and we were trying to test to see, because Ntsika, he's a vocalist, one of the best in the country, and he wanted to show niggas that he could rap, right? So instead of featuring him on a song and having him sing, he was like, Antwana, no, him and X-Ray. On the verses, they go back and forth, and then on the hook we have Red Batin, which was weird for us, because I mean at the time Red Batin was like one of the best cats, Soweto, and it was weird. How can you have like one of the best spitters on the hook? But it was a song. We were making music here. We were conceptualizing. And yeah, I came up with a very catchy hook, and yeah, I do the intro with my little fake ass British accent, like I'm a scientist in the lab, and yeah, this is what we came up with. This is The Laboratory Experiment, track number 8, featuring X-Ray, Ntsika of the Soil, and Red Batin.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Pulse Inc. Laboratories, where we're about to conduct an experiment where we will take one of the members from the Soil Kasi Soul singing group and see what will happen if he is put in a situation where he is forced to rap. We will begin the experiment by starting off with a rapper by the name of X-Ray. Go ahead, my son. Proceed.
Hayi. Sho. Atwana kushubile ke kulungu. Ishange ngindlela ntwana siphethe upathini kwichorus. Sho ntwana. Hayi sabahlinza ke kulungu. Ayibajwayele. Hayi sabangena kulungu. Izwa. Sho. Hayi. Isazophunyisa iflow zozwa kumnandi njengefanta juice akukho easy ukuthola istyle sami noma ufake ihunter boots njengomnyango ovuleke kusenza okuvala late mfana ngikhipha ipunch ongeke ulimele noma ungabayiwetha ntaba bheke mangibadlisa lama fridge ayabandisa ngibajuthe ngibafake ngekhanda ngathi ngiyababhabhadisa sho wonke nabo tough guy abadenka ukuthi umqondo unezandla futhi abathatha kahle
ilento kufona ngekerebe senasibuza wine cut if hip hop 30 green njengodebra lasaphat bethu speaker mfana specha ngamsampula uClarence cut bese gijinywa ngeflow njengepantula elijive mat sazovuthi 1 2 zona lezi zasesiphatha bese ufaka iskela se hip hop manje ni impatha must be whiskey ezulwini thina sasithatha nayi rabi razor lezi ziwakhnyana kule data
ebazokhala labafana asiko tight ukuthi siphethe ihlama wena madala thasha masala yena ngazobheda nibandisa masam ebazokhala labafana asiko tight ukuthi siphethe ihlama wena madala thasha masala yena ngazobheda nibandisa masam
Cover my second one, via my cop shanyela. I am a pilot at Ceaz, abazenza top shayela. They get used to my flow, maragush good bang shayela.
That line used to drive me insane. X, RT. They get used to my flow. Maragush good bang shayela. Yes!
Ngoba ngicwela ikasi ungidlalisela ngelabel le-crude silver ufuna ukushayina fast ngihamba phansi ngidla ama-chicken dust ngijinyelwa isisu ngoba ngikhipha inyongo erana fast njenge-out ngijeminayo awuzazi isitabane ndathiwa bakukhele phansi njengesihlahla samazambane khipha iflow endize emoyeni okwesmoke sembawula sebayasicomela ngathi babona iposh kambawula badenka kancane ngathi bafaka isport sepansula mina ngihardcore ngevenek futhi ngidrum ngendlamula fok ngiyakhafula ngitsothila ubona ngiyaphathula strong zobabela mongiphaphela stone lamakula yekurepusha opera ngoba so samucula ngali ntwana ungasikompera nasi step uzosikhuphula
ebazokhala labafana asiko tight ukuthi siphethe ihlama wena madala thasha masala yena ngazobheda nibandisa masam ebazokhala labafana asiko tight ukuthi siphethe ihlama wena madala thasha masala yena ngazobheda nibandisa masam
announcement basendlele nabo mrapper bamampela hopefully nama gimmicks azophela mebala zophela ukudelela nokubila lethani beef sinphekele bese futhi sanphakela ngizofa la aziyasiza ukumamela skip iflow esweet ngathi mfana siphuza ama-aquel ama-beat ka-speaker njengama-hashi sawakhwela phethu X on the solution okurapper a-cappella alufako mfana libuya nenhlabathi qaphela kasithi kasi sishek indawo obuza bazokutshela mukunegiko recession uzozo basibhelela ekuqaleni bebasivalela bazama ukusikhahlela ekhoneni sabaqaqela bathuka mesibavezela bona nobayazinyangela mara azi bayasihlanyela bathi sick mara ngikhumbula isingena esibhedlela mina nemike 242 nina bambani ikhandlela
ebazokhala labafana asiko tight ukuthi siphethe ihlama wena madala thasha masala yena ngazobheda nibandisa masam ebazokhala labafana asiko tight ukuthi siphethe ihlama wena madala thasha masala yena ngazobheda nibandisa masam.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm not going to play all the songs. Moving on to Ilelo Langa. The story behind that is that now, when I was stationed at Ntsika spot, it was another joint that we recorded, but we didn't finish it. I remember we started recording it at Ntsika spot, and then we only completed it once I was back. So when I made the beat, I forgot who I made it for initially, but Ntsika heard the beat and he liked it, right? And he was like, yo, man, guy, the beat lady, non pale, right? And I don't know what happened, but Mlolos, they were homies, heard the beat and he asked Ntsika if he could write to the beat, and then he wrote to, I'd never met Mlolos by that time, and then Ntsika came back to me like, yo, yeah, Mlolos will palele for the track. I'm like, what? And I'm like, yeah, so record, you know, mind you, Ntsika will correct me if I'm wrong, if he's watching. Mlolos had never rapped at the time. I think this was like one of the first songs he ever wrote in his life. Like, he heard the beat and he just immediately night. Yeah, and then we got Master P Naira, and it became a little longer, man. Like one of the most amazing joints I've ever had the privilege of being part of, you know, because the beat, yeah, it's just the beat, but essentially Mlolos uringanani bafethu, you know, and yeah, considering what is happening in the world right now, yo, we need a song like this today. We made this 11 years ago. The song, we recorded this 11 years ago, and it dropped 10 years ago, but yeah, whatever. We made this 11 years ago, and yeah, it's a very, very appropriate song to be listening to and to be bumping right now. So yeah, this is Lelo Langa featuring Mlolos and Master P of The Soil. This is track number 10 on the Insane Maestro.
SPeeKa.
Ekaslam from intwana to bitama kushipi indandizipha amandla ngingasashongo ledlala let me squeeze is giving just because impilo is difficult idakamisa umthoba inhliziyo yima neighborhood amajimbo sabamba inkunzi with no conscious at all. I don't see a bright future for ikasi at all. Omama bayakhala because inchayinga amavesi clear. It's time to put this kasi left behind me for good. Better beg family and be a better person. Gibela phezulu kwendlu batshela ukuthi umthokisi uphumelele sezisela imfamona. Phela untwana uhuzukile in life it's enough. Ekwakuyini ufaka ikhanda to succeed in life. Untwana ubhizi uhlukumeza ikasi feda kashintshi shintsha mpintsha. Uvela uphume entweni eshintsha mkhozi wami. Uvela uphume entweni. Ngilangaselela lelo langa. Ilife isela smooth sweet nomkadakada. Noma ngazi mfana ukuthi ilife iphela inzima uzongibamba isandla ngiqina idolo utshele kuzolunga. Ngilangaselela lelo langa. Ilife isela smooth sweet nomkadakada. Noma ngazi mfana ukuthi ilife iphela inzima uzongibamba isandla ngiqina idolo utshele kuzolunga. Lokho ikasi neqhawe ngane encane ehlala zibhekile bahereza strong ifiso zabo nabo sibezile lo love ugaqela shona kwelanga uthi kuyamvumela usiphusha ngobusotsi evula indlebe ntwana ibekeni was raised up begethu uqhaphambili ngenhlonipho every given Sunday shona endlini yenkosi never miss the session cause uvela ithanda nesona kodwa lokho kunzi kwabanhlanga sibuka nomoya cause inhlupheki ibisimphetho gcine somgulukudu fast guy gaslinge kasi sihlale sizwa ngaye lapha afika khona nkunza kwistayela umlahlo one day untanga walahlwa dana umshova zamshukela kamsini kuntswembe ezindabeni nakwiradio daba mlonyela keke kasobe ngazwanga ngithi yeschash besilindele vele bamgweba namanje uphakathi yosevilife azayo egodini
asisakwazi unceda untwana wasekhaya ingabi ngakikubi nabantu bamnyamalala oh diyabuza
Atheke ngiqala uKenya njengesithipha ngathi ngiyadidiyeka kuyoze kube nini udake kasa lokho ahlupheka sithenjiswa izinto ezingekho ngapi indlala ibangulaka edot manyala silokhu sibula wahuzuka khipha ikhono lapho khona nkunzi uvela usiphushe wena there's no room for failure njengeteksi intwana ngicala wena faka ikhanda uphusha ihustle kule life is struggling uziphandele self njengevatsha my funerals ngoba kuningi okusongenzeka themba mina kuzoba mnandi njengesililo sakanandi kuzodlula ungabhilivi bheka phansi kwamakholwa ukhulume nosomandla ushisa iphepha uthola isikabhu uhlabele nabaphathi ungisiphinda ushiye iqembu ungenwe kwimishini chaphisa izitha ngale thuba mfana kithe lakho uqina idolo uzukhumbulise lesitha hleli kuwe ubheka ungajahi naliphupho mfana vuka Ngilangaselela lelo langa ilife isela smooth sweet nomkadakada noma ngazi mfana ukuthi ilife iphela inzima uzongibamba isandla ngiqina idolo utshele kuzolunga ngilangaselela lelo langa ilife isela smooth sweet nomkadakada noma ngazi mfana ukuthi ilife iphela inzima uzongibamba isandla ngiqina idolo utshele kuzolunga
Yeah, so that was Lelo Langa featuring Mlolos and Master P of the Soil. Paul Babel is asking, what happened to Mlolos? Mlolos was actually a DJ. I don't know if he still DJs to this day, but we recorded like 2 or 3 other songs besides this one. Yeah, but yeah, he never actually took it on as like, okay, yeah, you know. I think at some point I even tried hooking up a young EP now, but of course he wasn't into the whole rap culture and rap, so it wasn't really his thing. But yeah, he was definitely a gifted writer, you know. Shout out to him, shout out to Mlolos, wherever he is, man. He made the song. Moving on to the next one, we have Big Fat Question Mark. It's an instrumental on the tape, and it basically signifies sort of the bridge between the vernac portion of the tape to the English rapidy portion of the tape, even though the first and second joints have English in them. But yeah, the first half of the tape is predominantly vernac, and the last half is mostly English. So I thought, because I like the beat, but as I span, it was just there. It was just one of those beats that I had, but I liked it. I was like, yeah, you know, why not? Yeah, Big Fat Question Mark, which is an interlude on the Insane Maestro. Right, so the next joint is a Digital Genie, another interlude. This joint, I remember it specifically because on the day we recorded it, it was election day 2009 in April, when we elected Zuma. Was it his second term? I think so. First or second term? I don't remember. Yeah, but we as a country voted for him to be our president. And I remember we recorded it in the morning, and then later on in the day, you know, went in and got our vote on. Yeah, so it features the legendary Salamus, but on this joint he is Vice the 13th, and War Bandit. But the song is originally War Bandits featuring Salamusi. The full-length version of the joint is available on War Bandit's debut project that we put together, which is Deaf Eyes and Blind Ears, which he hates. So you'll probably never hear that song again in your life because Bandit won't let you. But yeah, I was a huge fan of Vice, and it was so difficult at the time, like pinning him down for a track. So I was like, I Bandit control. I'm gonna take Vice's verse there, and then just throw it as an interlude on my tape because I was a huge fan of his. And yeah, so it's a joint that I had produced for Bandit, and now it is an interlude on this tape. Umto Ati, he has that Bandit EP. Yeah, well, don't tell Bandit that because it's okay, and he'll probably beg you to delete it. But this is Digital Genie featuring Vice the 13th.
I'm a genie in a bottle. See-through provisions opted. Stole the lamp. Rubbing shoulders, taking wishes for granted. Colorblind. Cats will be cats. Where's the blue panther? My wishes, yo. Demand like peasants who choose beggars. Envision my wish list. Imagine the whole page. Throw rocks at birthday cakes and think in your stone age. This tongue is electrical. Adjust your TV while you set your soul robots. Labor pain, remote deliberate, and path control. Pencil control. C for copycats. If battery dies, how many cells would occupy their body back? Existence is man-made. We Siamese by handshakes. Jumbo Jim resembles a condom, hoping a kid's in play safe. I'm curving the landscape. Telekinesis band shape. Jesus wasn't crossed. I held his breath while trying to exhale. Fat weld, war counts, and earth in 4 miles. Intentional suicide like high school dropout. You wish rest and razor cushions. Papyrus bookings. Cash is clear, no cut punch when moving. I've got a wish list of fugitives. I really need to get them off. Funeral marathon, recycling womb occupation like second letters that chief sent me. I'm trying to steal the honeycomb. I guess it's just a plan B. Majority rules, existence is view. To tell the truth, Mr. Genie in the bottle, I wish I was you.
End of message.
Yeah. So that was Digital Genie. Oh Bandit, man. Another shout out to him, by the way. Another key player in this tape. Always credit him and Ntsika as being the MVPs for this tape, because yeah, I was with them for most of the creation, and they always added input and asked to be on joints. So shout out to Ntsika, no Bandit. Special shout out to them. And yeah, so the last joint that I'm going to be playing, which ironically is the first joint that I recorded for this tape. At that time, I didn't have, it was 2008. Yeah, 2008. And before this joint, Ntsika had given me a beat that he had gotten from someone, and he was telling me, yo man, we got this beat from so and so, and we liked the beat, but I don't know. So it was like, can you maybe create something? They actually wrote the hook for a.k.a. to that very beat. Oh, and they were like, yeah, maybe you can hook up something. And then I completely forgot. I never really sat down and went, yeah, now I'm making the beat for Ntsika for the Shekli. Now, when I was making the beat for a.k.a. on the day, it was a random day, I was just making beats, and I sampled Eminem. There's an Eminem joint called Square Dance. If you're an Eminem head, you know that song. Yeah, so I sampled that joint and I was just messing around with it. And as I was making that beat, Ntsika actually randomly stopped by and they walked in. I think he was with Samthing. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, they walked in and then Ntsika was like, yep, this is it. This is the beat. I was like, what is it? Okay. Now, when we were making the song, I wasn't in my head going, yeah, actually now I want to work on a tape and call it the Insane Maestro, even though the idea for working on a tape called Insane Maestro was always in my head, but that wasn't it for me. I was just making a beat and I was just recording never soy like yo, So that was that, and we recorded the joint, I can't remember if Usamza wrote his verse in studio or he had it prepared already. Can't remember, but we recorded it. And then a short while later, Maseven, that was my first ever recording session with Maseven, was recording his verse on Iphakamisikas. And yeah, I remember we recorded it. It was on, if I'm not mistaken, a Friday evening, late Friday evening, and he wrote the verse in studio. He actually wrote an initial verse, and we had to scrap that verse, and he rewrote a new verse via and I think that same evening after recording, and then yeah, he left. And yeah, man, so Iphakamisikas, the first tune I recorded for the tape, it features Ntsika of the Soil, Master P of the Soil, Samza, who was still part of the Soil at the time, Red Batin, X-Ray, and Maseven. This was the first joint we did. It's a very, very important because it's kind of what made me, realize that okay, I'm not just a beat maker, I'm a producer now. I feel like that's the joint that made me, even though I had recorded songs prior to finally working with Abantwana, but when I made this joint, I can honestly say it was the first time I was like, yeah, now I'm a producer, because the song, even the structure, how I changed the beat, so I do something to the beat there, keep it snare, the beat changes, there's a crescendo at the end. It's one of my all-time favorite joints that I've ever worked on. So yeah, and I remember when we recorded the joint, we'd have like our trips to Eval. We'd always play this joint, and it's always like well received at VUT. Shout out to everyone from VUT at the time. That was one of the best times in my entire life. Peace to everyone from that time. Man, I hope everyone is proper. Yeah, man. So yeah, Iphakamisikas, very important joint, which ended up being like a bonus track on the tape, which is hilarious. So yeah, that's my tape. Insane Maestro. You guys can get it on Bandcamp. And yeah, peace to everyone who is on the tape. And I wish every single person who's on the tape nothing but success in life and in their careers, whether they still continue to pursue music as their careers or not, just in life. I hope everyone is doing well, and I appreciate the time, because essentially this was everyone took their time to contribute and work on this thing. That it was 100% for the love, even though I did try printing out copies and selling it and trying to push and all of that, but it's a very important project. It played a huge part in making me the producer that I would end up becoming in the last 10 years. And this song is like it's the song. So if I want to think of a moment in my career where me as a producer, I was born, it's this song. And mind you, this was 2008 when we recorded it. I had been making beats for 3 years. I started in 2005. So 2005, 6, 7, I was still just a beat maker. 2008, late 2008 even, like November, December is when we did this song. And that's when, I became a producer. So shout out to everyone. Particularly shout out to Ntsika and Samza. Also to them, because I feel like my ear, because I had the privilege to sit in when Samza was still part of the Soil, to sit in and watch them rehearse, and I would listen to them talk to each other, and the language that they used like things like Adonada, like you're off key. What is that? Yes, I learned all of that from them. They helped sharpen my ear. They helped make me a producer. So special shout out to them. Like, yeah, I would always root for you guys. And I appreciate everything. It goes beyond just working with me on the song, on this project. Yeah, they've done some really dope stuff for me, and I appreciate them for life. You know, peace to them. Peace to everyone else who worked on the tape. Oh, and also there's nights as well where I feature like 15 guys. Check that out as well. And then Wainenza saw a.k.a. Sparks. Check that out. And yeah, this is the last song. I know I said a lot, but this is the last song, aka the first song we did for the tape, which is the Pagamisikas. Oh, wait.
Khona zonke bonke khona siphuma nasezola endo fire esiphola wena isuse uzosola kanti lezi sithanda ukushana njengefol basazogrola sikwenzele ashe blind in a Coca-Cola plaza steam namazulu sifune landa idolo uthanda ukuphola ngiyabona na kanjani basazokuthola punchline moyifuna mfana kithi usazofola kwazi ukuflow ubhizi udlala ngathi ngcono bayibola ngathi rapper nomgabi style sakho sesokola uthi steam namahathi amaranjalo yamobola nesikila sabantu statswaye beef yenebola was it then abantwana emabhakini sokobola speak on the beat is too strong a batch on the software cool song wala ngomraba I ping pong calling up ping pong yana bama phone call to school get my outie to school get my cherry to me back hola to me back hola to school get my cherry hola to school get my outie hola to me back hola to me back hola we been to pretty son you escape even rest, let me show you 3 fingers and see the cowboy and hear the sound of the speakers. The soul is playing hard, but we 4 little singers. We're the massive godly power, let me ease with the feedback. We never audition, but we call for the call back. It's crazy, man, it's crazy where we from. They holler back, PC. Hey, you know that I like to remember my friends who live and say time is time and time will fade. And if gobbling I die today, I go to heaven where I always stay. Cause I live this busted life in this busted place. To live your face with a taste that is hard to embrace. Cause in this life it costs me to live like a sportsy. It might be lovely to rap roti and nothing. Yeah, because I live just panda yours. Who's on our job, but I see just panda yours. Second, sometimes yours. Long as I solid when I get to hamper yours. My outie, hola, in your bag, fast catching, hola, in your bag, fast catching, hola. I'm probably the fast cat, you know, who sings with a flow. It's hardcore and dope, incredible, yo. Enjoy all the show, like some jobs it blows. Haters close the door, cause time waits no more. It's hard, yeah, for sure, like that iron ore. Find deep on the floor, it's reach highest point. It can't sink no more, reaching us the soil is a trend of toil living. You to boil like Nigerian oil. Love and peace for all. Love your confidant. Love is comfortable. When it's comfortable, love is fun. Below under and slow. Ever dance. I'm a pro. But tell me punchline. The night is when it's Latin. You're selling it. It was a boss to me, Martin. This is a Boshaman. Is it why it's so rotten? Came back. You took the letters and me caught him. Me ever come in my cannot take it by emoji. You never on point. Outside Samina.
Kasihorisa fresh ngiyaconnecta nge-Nokia fan bengiphakamisa iwest okwamanje ngise-Protea 10 ungadineki okwestone intwana ungatshintsheki njengehlanye elijola amathuntu uzibheka intwana ungadideki phethe uSpeeKa mathapheka sipusha ihasi ushange studio staff ngoba uskima uMr Masini ozedlela ngiyakutshela ntwana uzogcwala ungenza iskipping ngakhalenda ubhizi ujumpise emnqala
ya kanti kwenzakala
sure asibinge kabhaya tona sibangena ngale 8 lines bashota ngemboyi bafuna iriza flasi 8i masezisha sibe top njengehama phezwe albay skip iSpeeKa ngaphandle eCasper flow ephezwe baseline ngoba ngiskima abontwana bagcwala thina ngathi concern noma silula sishasa ngomoya ngathi sihlezi kwibhantana sekusuka ikure kasi street fighter tobono phantom slamule ngokushopikasi ngathi basketball
Dala basimele balimele sikhuphula igasi bonke bayafreeza njengekhompyutha nevirus siphakamisa igasi bafana bami kurafi isukile ring ivara ngidlali njengeside elibhukile ngiyezi ngama-ara kusedlene lasonquma indaba ngithanda ukusifaka ngcoka ikipa zephuma nalo ibhasi lizongitshayisa njengedladla elinganabonda singishiye ndidlale Blaq njengomfazi ofele indoda
Tumtanda yo as soli kona ge kuhamba yo Ken kasalete banda yo Uzana stop katasi kesanda yo Sitike tumtanda yo as soli kona ge kuhamba yo Ken kasalete banda yo Uzana stop katasi kesanda yo Sitike tumtanda yo as soli kona ge kuhamba yo Ken kasalete banda yo
Like you know it, this is the way we know and show you how to rock it. We keep it coming for you to hear it. This is the song that is sung by the soil. We keep it rolling. Like you know it, this is the way we know and show you how to rock it. We keep it coming for you to hear it. This is the way we know and show you how to rock it.